Review of the Megadeth album Countdown to Extinction. It was released in 1992 and produced by Max Norman and Dave Mustaine. So this album is one that I got sometime after Rust in Peace. I couldn't say exactly when. I think I got it from Walmart. This is actually released on my birthday, which I found interesting when I was looking up Bastille Day. So yeah, this album was kind of an early favorite of mine when I started listening to it. I got into this album quicker than I got into Peace Sells and quicker than I got into Rust in Peace, which were like the older era Megadeth albums that I had before it. That's my opinion on it's kind of not like held up as much. Like those two have kind of gone up for me, and this one's kind of stayed, I guess, like around the same. So like Rust in Peace to me seems to be like when they're kind of first starting to shift into getting a little more commercial, but there's still a lot of like that old Megadeth sound. Here they kind of take that a step further. They go even a little bit more commercial, and it really works for me on a few tracks here. Like I think that the highs of this album get like just as high as Rust in Peace, maybe a little bit more, but I don't find it as even. I think that there's some lows on it, and I just don't find it as consistent of an album altogether. But the highs on it really kind of lift it up. The album opens with Skin in My Teeth, which I think is a strong opening track. I knew it from the greatest hits that I had, and I was never like that into it when I had it on the greatest hits, but the more I listen to it, the more I like it. I really like the main riff, cool solos on it, so I think a really strong opener. Second track, Symphony of Destruction, great song. This was an early favorite of mine from them. I think it's like one of their most like accessible kind of catchy songs, so that probably like I don't know, it's an easy one to pick as your favorites, and I wouldn't say it's like my favorite on the album anymore, but I still really love the song. Really, when I saw them in concert, it was one of the songs that like stood out the most because I still wasn't that familiar with like their whole discography yet and like all the stuff that they played, and this was one that I knew really well when they played it, so it was really cool. The third track, Architecture of Aggression. This one has some musical contributions from David Ellefson. I like it. It's got cool guitar. This one kind of reminds me more of some of their earlier stuff. Doesn't seem like they were trying to be like overly catchy or commercial on it. But I like that one quite a bit. Fourth track, Foreclosure of a Dream. This one has lyric contributions from Dave Ellefson. It's kind of a slower, moodier song, especially during like the verse parts. I like it, but it's not one of my favorites. To me, like lyrically, I guess it seems like they're trying a little too hard, and I've never been like that crazy about the chorus. But not a bad track, never one that I like have the urge to skip or anything. Just not one of my favorites. The fifth track, Sweating Bullets. This is one of my favorites. I had this on the Greatest Hits album as well, and I've just always loved this song. I love Dave's vocal delivery on it. Love all the music and stuff. Just everything about that song is great. So Sweating Bullets, I don't know if it's my favorite on the album because it's got a lot of competition, but it's up there for like my favorite Megadeth songs. The sixth track, This Was My Life. I like this one. It's catchy. It's got kind of one of those like chugging heavy songs. Got a cool guitar solo in it, so that one's kind of a minor highlight for me. Track's the title track, Countdown to Extinction. This is another one that I really love. The music's by Dave Mustaine and Marty Friedman. Lyrics by Mustaine, Menza, and Ellefson. So everybody wrote something on this song, and yeah, I love everything about this song. Major highlight. It's kind of the other one that I would say is tied for my favorite on the album. Just one that I got into like instantly on first hearing it. The eighth track, High Speed Dirt, has lyrics with Ellefson co-writing some. I like this one. It's kind of one of the faster songs on the album, and it reminds me of like their older stuff until it gets to this part where they have like this little like acoustic type of guitar solo, which I think is really cool, but just kind of comes out of like almost nowhere. But yeah, I like that one quite a bit. The ninth track, Psychotron. This one has always struck me as like I like the music a lot. I think it's cool, and I do like I don't mind the lyrics or anything, but I do find them a little cheesy. But I enjoy the song overall. But something about the part I get, what is it? Part organic and bionic, not a cyborg like part. Just kind of like I don't know. The 10th track, Captive Honor. This one has music written by all of them and some lyrical contributions from Dave Ellefson. And this is easily my least favorite track on the album, and what it really just comes down to is those like voices that they have, like kind of, I don't know, like the Judge voice and like the different like core things and all that stuff. Like just those voices kind of sprinkled throughout the song just kind of make it cheesy to me, and it kind of distracts me from the actual song itself. So not a favorite of mine. Like I don't really hate it or anything, but just like those cheesy voices kind of distract me from the rest of the song. And then the 11th and final track, Ashes in Your Mouth, which has music written by all of them. I think it's a fine closer, but it doesn't really stand out as much as some of the other tracks. So it's not really a highlight for me, but I don't mind it. There's a bonus track on the CD version, Crown of Worms, which I like quite a bit. I like it better than Captive Honor. So yeah, Countdown to Extinction has some of my favorite stuff, some of my favorite songs by Megadeth. The title track, Skin on My Teeth, Symphony of Destruction, Sweating Bullets. But overall, I don't find it as consistent of an album as like Rust in Peace or Peace Sells. At the same time, I do think that it's one of their most like easy to get into albums, and so I would highly recommend this. Maybe even recommend it as like a first album if you hadn't gotten into them, because I think it's a little more commercial and a little more easy to get into, but it's still has enough of their old sound on it yet that they haven't like, kind of completely veered off the rails with that like they would in a few albums. So great album, definitely recommend it.